Have you ever wanted to get better reaction time? Or maybe you just get hit too much in sparring and you want to get hit less? Well, there's one thing that needs to change. My name's Cody from Ring Ready Boxing. I run a free beginner to boxer online program. I'll leave the link in the description if you're interested in joining. But by the end of today's video, I promise you will learn how to practice head movement so you can go away, practice it in your own time, and actually take it into your next sparring session so you look like you have better reaction times and you get hit less. Now, the first thing we need to look at with head movement is the fundamentals of how to slip and how to roll. I'm going to show you this real quick. I'm not going to waste any time. So from your boxing stance, you need to make sure you've got a solid base. If your feet are too close together like this, they're too narrow, or your feet are literally like too close or too wide, you're not going to have a solid base to work off. So what I like to say is, if you stand in a normal stance like this with your feet hip width, all you're going to do from there is take your back foot hand, well no, the foot you would use for your backhand, sorry, and take it back just like so, and then turn your body side on like this. From there, I've got a solid base. Now, the fundamentals of slipping and rolling is to make these movements as small as possible and to try and use most of the body together. So we're not being stiff and just turning our upper body like this with our lower back, because that's no good. You're too rigid. We need to make sure we're having a little bend at the knees and then dipping the shoulder down slightly, even if we go left or right. Because if you can't master this, then your head movement is not going to go nowhere and you won't be able to counter punch either. So simply, the first thing you've got to practice is slipping left, slipping right, slipping left, slipping right. And then once you get better at this, you can then practice rolling. So with a roll, we're going to make a U shape with our forehead. So we're going to go to the right a little bit and then roll under there. Then reset. Then you can go to the left, make that U shape just like so. So I'm making that U shape. I'm not just dipping down like this. We're making that U shape. Again, using the legs and the upper body, just a dip at the shoulder. We're not just using the legs and going like this, being rigid, we're being fluid with it. So if you can't move your head properly, you probably haven't got these fundamentals down. Now, if you can do slips and rolls on their own and you're ready to progress it, here's what I want you to practice. And if you can do this in front of a mirror or when you're hitting the bag or when you're shadow boxing, absolutely brilliant. But what you want to do is learn how to now get faster motion with these slips and rolls and put it together without even thinking about it. Because what a lot of us do, we get a bit rigid. We go slip, roll, and we think too much about what we're doing. Just move your head as much as possible. And I mean, when you're practicing and even when you're sparring, don't overthink where you're going to be, because for as long as your head's down that center line, you're an easy target. So just think, just slipping and rolling left and right, becoming unpredictable, then you can add the feet with it as well. This is how your head movement should be looking in practice, because this will translate into sparring. Because what we're trying to do here is practice moving before we need to. I say this to everyone. Don't try and react to every single punch that comes to you. Try and move before your opponent even throws it, because then it gets harder for you to get hit. I love using this analogy, but what would be harder to hit? A cow or a fly? If you said the fly, that's obviously correct, because it's a smaller target and it moves around a lot more and a lot quicker than a cow does. And in boxing, most of us are the cow. We stand there like a punch bag and we make ourselves an easy target. But I want you to be the fly. Always be on the go. Be really hard to hit. Be a small target. Don't have your guard down and just be easy to hit. Have that guard nice and tidy and then move all the time. This makes you so much more awkward, because a moving target is always harder to hit than a still target. Once you've practiced these fundamentals, we can now start stringing punches onto them defensive movements. So now I want you to move and then start by throwing your straight shots when you see them, whilst keeping your head off the center. And you can start off slow if needed. You might just go slip, cross, jab, slip, roll. You might go jab, roll, roll. You might go jab, cross, roll. Just practice finding that flow and rhythm, even if you're starting off slow, and eventually you can speed it up and get more fluidity to it. But that is the next step, and you've got to practice step by step, one bit at a time to get better at it. Now this is more of a bonus tip for you. I thought I'll quickly add this into the video. I wasn't planning on doing this, but I'm going to. But as you get better, you can start not just slipping, but practicing parrying it, blocking on the gloves, and just kind of mixing it all together. Then adding in other punches, body punches, level changes, but one step at a time, right? This all comes with practice and time. I've been doing boxing for many, many years and teaching it for years as well. This does come with time and practice. It's not something you should pick up just like that. But if you go through the steps I showed you through today, you'll pick it up a lot quicker than I probably did. And if you want to become a master at moving your head and getting better defense, I would highly recommend joining my boxing school for free with the link in the description below, where it's got my beginner to boxer program, teach you everything about defense and attack. I'll show you the drills and the system I use to help people to get better at boxing. It's completely free. I'll leave the link down below. Otherwise, catch you later.